Hello and welcome back to another Stoke Fan TV podcast with myself, Max.
I'm new, Sam.
That's right. And tonight we've got a super show, man. We've got a right panel. We've got four guests with us tonight. We've got Hoppo over in the corner there and Dale. You know who those chaps are. You've seen them before. But joining us tonight for the first time, we've got Tiger down the corner, Andrew, and we've also got Alan, who's joining us all the way from sunny Canada. Isn't that right, Al? Isn't that right?
Sunny and warm.
Amazing, amazing. Right, we'll crack on with the show, but before we start, I've just got to ask Al. Now, Al, obviously your accent is very Canadian. How comes you to be a Stoke fan?
Um, well, I mean, I grew up playing ice hockey and rugby. Those were my two sports my whole life. And I'll be fair. I detested football because of the injuries and that kind of thing, right? Being a rugby player, you kind of frown upon it. So I met my wife, Joanne, 18 years ago, I guess it is now. And she's born and raised in Stoke. So born in Kidsgrove, her mom worked at Royal Dalton painting figurines, and her dad had a butcher shop. And I'd never heard of Stoke before. Well, I thought, okay, I have to get involved in some Stoke things here. So I started following the Potters, and I absolutely fell in love with football. Not because of football, because the way Stoke played. They were a hard-nosed team. They weren't having a big whinge on the pitch every time somebody touched them. It changed my perspective of football drastically, 180 degrees. So I've been almost to the point I'm a Stoke addict. I mean, the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is open News Now and get all my Stoke news updates so I can see what's going on in the misery, right? So
Amazing.
but I love it. I absolutely love the club. I love the culture of Stoke. My wife makes perfect oatcakes. So yeah.
Oh, mate, amazing. Well, I tell you what, Al, welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show, and thanks for reaching out to us and coming on. And that's a wicked story, and to wake up in the morning and be as depressed as the rest of us looking at Stoke news. Yeah, welcome to the party. Now, Tiger down in the corner, welcome to the show as well, man. Like, obviously, we've seen you doing some interviews at the ground and all that. Welcome back, mate. Welcome back to the podcast show. Right, I won't waffle on too much now. We'll crack on with the show. So obviously, in our last show, I think the question we asked was, we said something along the lines of, "Is this the turning point for Stoke?" Well, I think were we a little bit premature, to say the very least. Obviously, we've since lost two games. We're going to have a look back at some of the highlights. This is the first. We've had some major technical problems trying to get this working, but we're going to have a look back at some highlights of the matches and see if we can maybe dissect what went wrong. Now, before we look at these highlights, does anyone want to jump in with their thoughts on the last two games before we get into it?
I wasn't there last night.
You weren't there at the match last night.
No.
Okay.
No, I went watch Wolves instead.
Okay, that's fair. Right. Okay.
And that was even more depressing.
Well,
It's like watching Man United, but it's even depressing as well.
Tiger legend.
Like
Anyone
watching
else
paint dry.
anyone else got any thoughts on the last couple of games? Who want to jump in? Was anyone
Shambles.
at the game last night?
Shambles. Yeah, I mean, I saw Sammy there. We were there, weren't we, mate?
Yeah, last night.
Yeah, terrible, terrible. Just nowhere near. It was just even the basics. Not even doing the basics right. There was no spirit,
Really?
no fight, no passion. Like Alan's just said, instead of refreshing in and say like that's why he loved the club because of the way they used to fight. The passion, the determination. They didn't care how they played, but it's such a contrast now to how they're playing right now. It couldn't be worlds apart, aren't they? It's total opposite of what Alan's just described, really. So we're just way off it, aren't we? A couple of weeks ago, like I said, as the turning point. Well, clearly, it's
Well,
gone the other way, hasn't it?
do you know what I've been watching Stoke, and I've been thinking, Is it the whole team, or is it? Do you think it's our defence? Do you think this defence that Stoke have got at the minute is the worst defence we've had?
Yeah.
And that's going to be, some people are going to look at me and say you've been really negative there. But am I justified in what I say? Do we think that this is the worst defence Stoke have had? I mean, who wants to take that one? Dale, do
I,
you want to take that one?
I think I think you look at it and you can say, is it injuries? Is it tactical? I don't know, but I don't understand last night why he's playing Ben Wilmot on the right and putting Shabadoo on the bench.
Mm.
I don't know why he's playing Michael Rose when he's absolutely rubbish. I don't know why he's not putting Wilmot in the middle with Phillips, because Phillips is quality. He was at fault probably for a goal on Saturday and a goal last night, but you put Wilmot on the right when you got Shabadoo who's playing pretty decent. I don't know if you could say it probably is one of the worst defences that we've had, and we've had Philip Volscheid, and he was terrible. So I don't know. I don't even know what to say, if I'm honest with you, because it's like Hoppo said, I think we've all said it, haven't we? We played Swansea and we were terrible for the first half, and then we were pretty good, and then we went to Norwich and we were terrible, and then we were terrible last night, and we're going to lose on Saturday, and it's like I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what to say anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, man.
There's one thing you can say. You can't keep blaming the manager.
yeah,
You can't blame the manager.
I'm just saying, you got to look now.
Yeah.
And you got to look back this last 18 months. It's the players. The players are at fault. The players are at fault here. They just don't want to play, and they should be embarrassed. They should be privileged to put that shirt on and play for a football team, like any footballer and any team. If you don't want to play, just say to the manager, you don't want to play, and go play somewhere else if you want to do that. If you do want to play 150% out your skin.
Do you think? Do we think that's what it is, chaps?
Because you're not turning up, and what them players forget about. You got people there who are going to work 7 days a week on the breadline, going down watch Stoke City or any other football club. They can't afford it. They're going in debt, and it's not fair. The cost of inflation is going through the roof, and they're going. One thing they want to do is go watch their team play football, and then them players can't even play for 90 minutes. And when you say the football player, when you like somebody said at Christmas they're playing too many games, they're doing 3 games in like a week and a half. You're supposed to be fit. You're supposed to play 7 days a week. You go work 7 days a week and do a shift, don't you? So why can't they do a shift?
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
They get you paid good money. You are getting paid good money.
Good money is an understatement. It's mega money for some of them.
Yeah.
What do you resonate with that? Do you think it's down to a lack of effort, or do you think it's technical, or what do you think's causing this? The state of the last 2 games.
I think it's a combination of many things. I mean, it's the effort. The effort's not there. But why? The question is why is the effort not there? Because these are consummate professionals. Okay. I'm an engineer by education. So when I go to do my job and rubber stamp a drawing, I need to make 100% sure that I've done my job. Otherwise, somebody might die. Right. I mean, so there's gravity to it. So these football players, I mean, I think, there's obviously it's the effort, but the question is why is that effort not there? And the other thing is in the defense of the players, they've gone through, let's take Ben Wilmot for an example. I mean, I think he's the longest term Stoke defender we have right now. He's been with the club the longest. How many managers has Wilmot seen come through the door? How many defensive partners has he seen come through the door, be it a signing or a loan? It takes, I mean, when I played hockey, I played at a very high level. Okay, so I was paid to play. And when you have players coming in and out of your mix, so I was a goaltender. That's probably why I'm a little bit nutty, but whatever. So the reality is when you get a team in a state of flux with incomings and outgoings and changing your players in and out all the time, it instills a lack of confidence in you. Because when you're used to playing with your mate beside you, and you've been playing with this guy for 5, 6, 7 weeks, even, you get a symbiotic relationship. You know where each other are, you know what each other are doing. Then, basically when Robbins, he came in, he switched things up. He put Wilmot on right back, put Shamadou on the bench. Do I agree with that? Yes and no. Now, here's the thing. I heard Robbins say after the game, he said, look, we've got these players coming back from injury. And instead of putting them right into the U21s for, 3 or 4 matches to get their game legs back, they're just throwing them right into the first team. So Wilmot came in, went into right back. And you know what? There's been games where he's played right back and he's played really well. Better than he has as a center back at times. Right. But there's been other times, like yesterday, when we watched it, where he looked like he had tent pegs nailed his feet to the pitch because he couldn't move. And when he did move, he was just, he was boobs up in the rhubarb. Right. I mean, he was laying on his back. It's just like, so I think there's a lot of different things at play here to say it's just the players. I don't think that's wrong, but when you look at the bigger picture of what the problem, why is it that way? And with the 3 managers this season we've had,
yeah, three and counting. I mean, you make some great points. You make some absolutely brilliant points there, and mate, honestly, brilliant, good talking as well. We get people asking us, don't we, or fans in general, and they're chatting about the problems at Stoke City. And like you've just said there, is it down to one thing, or is it down to an accumulation of everything? I mean, Sam, I'm going to throw this over to you quickly. If you had to put your finger on something like on the pitch, like if you were to point the pitch and say, at the minute at Stoke City, this is where it's going wrong, what would you say?
You've asked me this a couple of times before, Max, and I'll tell you the exact same thing again. It's willpower and passion, and the players are lacking it.
That's what it is for you. It doesn't come down to any specific area.
I'd say lack of quality is there as well. Obviously, in the defensive positions, there's a definite lack of quality, and it's obvious. And to be honest, up front as well, when we didn't have Al Hamadi playing last night, it was obvious Nathan Lowe looked really out of his depth last night, especially being put up on his own. Like, I don't think that suited him. And then he took him off and bought on who's it up front? I forgot who he bought on, but he took him off and bought another strike. Yeah, Gallagher, that's
Gallagher,
it.
Yeah.
But Gallagher on, put Gallagher on his own. I think we should have gone 2 up front yesterday, and we missed out on a big opportunity there. But yeah, as Alan said, I think there's definitely a collection of a lot of issues going on at the club. I think it's hard to blame it on certain individuals. I've heard people blaming the Coates family. I've heard people blaming Walters. I've heard people calling for Shawcross to manage the next game. It's just there's so much going on. It's impossible to pinpoint it down to a specific thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got down to the last 2 matches. Now I've got you all here, so we're going to try this. We've not tried this very often. Sam, you've got the video ready to rock, haven't you? Have you got the goals? You got all the goals, because the goals are the thing. There's been what? How many goals has there been in our last 2 matches? I think there's been.
Conceded, hasn't it? Yeah.
We've conceded 7 goals. So this is their. Just can you pause at any time, Sam? And it is a good
that
finish.
was our first goal.
It is a good finish, but where do we go wrong during that? Just take it back. Now, for me, and people can speak up as well, Stevens needs to do better in this occasion. Yep. Anyone else?
I think if you look at a lot of the goals over the last 2 games, they've come from different areas. Like I think the second, third goal last night, they started one side of the pitch, gone the other, gone through the midfield, the movement, and that's another one where there's lots of passing movement. It's come from the midfield. So that's part of the problem. this isn't just the defence. The midfield aren't doing their job. Part of the midfield job is to defend as well. And there's that many opportunities in all of these goals to have somebody put a block on before it's even got to the defence, and nobody has. That's what Pulis used to do. That was when what Alan's on about the old days of Pulis, and that was he used to play Whelan there. That was Whelan's sort of job. So it wasn't just reliant on the defence to defend. The midfield's got to do it as well, and they're not doing it. There's nobody's
No.
the challenger blocking.
Can we just pause? Well, that's a good
us.
point. That's a good point. Walking through us. Just look at this. Look at this position here. So for a start, by the way, I didn't realise. I must be behind. I didn't realise Morgan Whittaker had moved to Middlesbrough. Where was I for that?
Yeah.
He's a hell of a player, isn't he? But like, and they've just come off the back. They've just come off the back of 5 losses, Middlesbrough,
Yep.
or something like that. And they've come. What's going on literally here? I mean,
There's no shape whatsoever. Completely lost their shape.
Yeah.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
It's a mess. That is a mess. If you look at that, that looks like a Jell-O salad, right? I mean, it's just a mess of a bunch of crap thrown in a bowl. And Middlesbrough just absolutely gutted them like a fish. They tore through the midfield. They tore through the defense. And to Stevens, you know what? Every player is going to make mistakes in every game. That's part of being a human being. It's what you do to correct those mistakes. And football being such a fast sport, when Enda let us back to the previous part there, when Enda let that guy go around him, he didn't correct his actions quickly enough. There was nobody there to back him up. The 2 center backs were standing there, polishing each other's shoes, rather than saying, what are we going to do? Okay, crap, the guy got around Enda. Now what do we do? Well, there was nothing. There was literally our midfield. They did track back, but I don't know why they bothered.
They didn't put a challenge in, did they? Nobody puts a challenge in, do they, Alan? That's it, isn't it? Nobody puts a boot to challenge in.
It was watching. And you look at every Stoke game this year where the supporters were happy afterwards, win, lose, or draw, where the club played well, where everybody was on the right page. They were games when we played a press, and a hard press. We gave the other clubs no quarter. This game, just like the last game, we gave them all kinds of space, and as soon as we were giving them space, they opened us up.
Like, just watch this now. Sam, play that through. Yeah. Just play that through what happens here. Obviously, that ball's coming into their centre forward there. Just a simple... It just seems... Why does it seem so easy? Tiger, what do you reckon, man? Why does it seem so easy?
I don't know. I just don't know. To me, the players haven't turned up. Just haven't turned up last night. And like Dale said it like earlier on, Saturday, everybody here already knows they can get battered against Saturday. And again, it's not fair on the fans, is it? Because there's just no passion there.
You think
there's no passion. If I was him, like the manager now, I'd have them players playing 7 days a week, training 7 days a week. You're not having a day off. You're training 7 days a week.
Yeah,
and you got and tell them and be hard. And if they can't do it, they don't want to do it. Bring some of the academy players in. Give them a crack. What can go wrong? You're at the bottom now anyway. The only thing is going to go wrong. You're getting in Division 1.
It feels to me like just watching back some of these goals from last night. Is there a lack of fitness in this squad? I mean,
just look on there, Max. There's not one. Everything we've just watched, not one challenge has gone on to any Middlesbrough player there. Not one. And all those passages of play, there's not one challenge or one. Nobody's put a foot in there. Blocked him, made it awkward. They're walking through us because they can. Nobody's even look, where's the tackling? It's not.
There's no challenge. Like I say, there's no challenge.
There.
No, from the off line, all you've done is just walk that ball in, and all you're doing is just running back. Like you're saying, no one's gone in.
It doesn't even feel like they're running. It doesn't even feel like they're running.
No, they're
That's just
static.
a hard
They're
challenge, and
static.
there's nothing there. Nothing there at all.
If you
Making
play
me
like
angry.
that
Sorry,
Saturday
boys. I'm
against
going.
Watford,
Oh.
they can get battered.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Watford will absolutely wax the floors with them. It's just, it's so irritating because now we've all talked about the quality in the club. One thing we have to look at too is I I think each individual player that Stoke currently has on their roster has quality. Are they premier quality? No, no, no. But they have the quality to play in the championship, right? They really do. Whether it's Manhoof, whether it's Berger, whether it's Seco, these guys are Seco. That's another topic. But I'm looking at this. There's individual quality, but there's no quality as a team. There's no camaraderie on the pitch. There's no press. There's nobody laying it on the line for their club. There's no everybody. And the question, but why? There's some games where we've all watched games this year where Stoke has absolutely annihilated the other team. They've ripped them wide open. They've absolutely, shattered their goalies. But then the next game we see this crap, the standing around, the spectating, the ball watching. And why is that? What changed from 3 games ago to now? How did everything go 180 degrees and why? Yep, granted there was a lot of changes in the lineup. And yeah, it's a 3-game week. I get that. But just the same.
Right, okay, that'll do, Sam, for the highlights, mate. We've had enough. Sorry to interrupt you there. I get what you're saying, man. I get what you're saying. Like, one of the things that I just want to touch on there that you've mentioned that I think is so kind of, I don't know, a really good example of what's going on. Ball watching, right? For 90 minutes, you have to concentrate, don't you? Your concentration levels. Why, is that one of the biggest things with Stoke? The concentration levels for me just don't seem to be there for 90 minutes.
You know what? I had games where I had 8 goals scored on me because my focus wasn't there. My intent to be focused was there, but yet I would get lit up. I mean, I just get lit up. And I remember my dad, I was playing, it was called Midget, but it's for 15-year-olds. And it was a big team I was playing for. And I had a horrific game. And my dad told me after the game, remember that and of course, there's 5 out players on a hockey team. He says every goal they scored, they had to get through 5 other people to score on you. Right. So here's the thing. It's not just, I don't think it's any individual's fault here, but what's really what I see going on the pitch is nobody really knows anybody. And if you remember when we had Schumacher come in, what did they talk about? Give the team time to gel. Well, Schumacher's gone. Oh, they brought in Pilach. Well, he's got to do his gelling. Well, Pilach is gone. Now we have Robbins in. Well, we got to give the team time to gel. That's what we haven't heard since Robbins came in.
Yeah,
the team's got to gel under Robbins.
Yeah, you got to give Robbins time now. You got to give him time. No matter what happens now, you can't keep swapping managers or you just laughing joke. You got to give Robbins time, and you got to give him time. So right now, I'm just watching Ipswich Man United. Delap's just scored. When he played for Stoke, he didn't do anything.
No.
As soon as he's gone to a different team, he's just a different player.
Yeah.
And how many times have we heard that? How many times have we heard players leaving Stoke? Dale, man, what do you think, Dale? How many times have we heard that, mate? Honestly,
pretty regular though, isn't it? When we get a player down Stoke and we ruin them, and they go elsewhere and they race. It's what we're known for, It's like just touch on a couple of things that have been raised, like the defending recently. I don't know if you've got a bit of Gibsonitis, to be fair, because I know we got Gibson on a free transfer, and when he come in, it was like I looked at it and I thought, yeah, he'll be decent. Him, experienced defender. He's had his issues in the past. Come in, maybe teach the young ones that are coming in. But his defending is absolutely woeful. I've never known anybody run off from a player when they're attacking. And it seems like all the defence have got the same kind of attitude now, where they don't bother pressing the ball and they just run off. And that's why we're conceding goals, because they seem attackers are running at him and the defenders are stepping back, and then they're shooting and he's scoring. And it's like, it's basics, isn't it?
Yeah, we feel that way.
All they're doing is going through the motions, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're just going through the motions. That's what they're doing. And the problems with most teams now, you can't coach a team, it's I. There's no I in team. They don't play together as a team. They play for themselves individual. Because the more they do individual, the bigger price tag goes on their head. So they think they can go up the ladder and go somewhere else.
And I think
supposed to play as a team. Definitely as a team. If you go in the army, you're in the squadron. You're a team.
Yeah.
You're in the police force, you're in the fire department, whatever you do, you're a team. You work as a team. You play as a team. You got each other's back. They haven't got each other's back. All they're interested is themselves and individual. And
who is in that team? Tiger. Who is in that team? Who in that team is playing for the team at the minute? Is there anyone, Tiger?
The only thing is, I reckon the goalkeeper. That goalkeeper at Stoke, he is amazing. If it wasn't for him now, you'd be rock bottom. He is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And he is putting 150% in it. He is giving it every game he plays, he's giving it his all. Most of the rest of them, all they're doing, they're going through the emotions. Yeah, they're scoring goals, they're doing what they're doing, they're doing the fancy. They all think they're Ronaldo's. And all they're doing is it's a price tag on the bed. That's it.
And you look at like Manhoof. I mean, he has some very good skills, but I have never seen such a selfish man on the ball when he has open players in the opposition box, but he will actually make the effort to get his own shot off before he'll actually make the pass to a teammate to do a tap in. It happened yesterday.
Do you think that's down to him, Al, or do you think that's down to what he's been told by the manager?
I think that's down to Manhoof, to be honest. I really think it is. I really think it is, because he come out publicly saying, yes, his aspirations are to play in the Premier League and be the best and blah, blah, blah. And I get every player's aspiration is to do that. My aspiration was to play in the National Hockey League, right? I mean, it's the NHL. Every player's like that, but it's what you do to get to that level. And Manhoof is trying to make his name look good by his own goals for record. He's not trying to come across as a team player, and that is what will be his downfall, in my opinion. He has skills. I won't take that away from him, but he is not a team player.
They've all got to be team players. You've all got to get each other's back, right, and be team players. Until they do that, they're only going to win.
Sam and Hoppo.
Sorry, for any football team, not just Stoke. That goes for any football team. Now, you think about it. Go back to Ferguson back in the Man United days. Would you put up with all that in there? What's going on there?
Well, no, he wouldn't, would he?
Yeah.
A lot of them players think they're bigger in the club.
Well, they're not.
You wouldn't put up with it. And this is where coaches should be stepping in now. Having a meeting with, calling them all in. They got the ground. They got the place to have the meeting and say, listen, you're doing this. If you want you to sign up to this, there's a door, leave. And go find somewhere else who'll pay you for that.
Never mind, coach. Tiger. We'll get you in the dressing room. I think you'll sort them out. Too right, you will. Right, Sam and Hoppo, I know you've been patient up the top there. I just want to ask you both a question. Last night, obviously the match. What was it? What was the atmosphere like in the ground? What was it like? You both were there. Was it flat?
It was dreadful.
It was a bit. I think as you tune up, you tune up after Saturday's drubbing, and you're tuning up half expecting. You don't know what you're going to get right now, because, like, it's just been, everyone said, sometimes from the performances, particularly half the game, have been good. So there's a little bit of optimism, but with the reality at the moment that everybody knows the defence isn't good enough. So, before a ball's been kicked, there's that not air of excitement. There's not the air of, expectancy. And there's the air of, like, it's not going to be very good tonight. It's going to be a difficult game. So it wasn't great, Sam, was it? It was when the team lifted up a bit, the crowd got behind them. But overall, everybody's just fed up. Everyone's demoralised. Totally
Demoralised,
demoralised.
Sam? Are you
Yeah,
demoralised, Sam?
I think the best atmosphere last night was during the light show, to be honest. When they had the music on and the lights on. It was pretty good, that was. But yeah, other than that, half time was all right because we went in 1-1, but literally a couple of minutes after the second half started, I think a few people even missed it. They scored. So it was just we were losing for the majority of the game. And we were just awful for the majority of the game as well. The first half, we shouldn't have scored. We didn't deserve to score a goal in that first half. We got very lucky before half time that we managed to get a goal. No, it's dreadful.
All right, okay. Listen, boys. We could chat all evening, but we've only got a couple of minutes now, and then our Zoom chat is going to end. We don't usually have a whole panel on the show. We'll continue to do this and do that next time as well. Hey, gents. Thanks everybody for coming on tonight's show. Everyone watching, listening, however you're taking this in, please don't forget to hit the like button on the video, the subscribe button as well to the channel. If you're listening to this on Spotify, you're probably thinking, what were they waffling on about when we're watching highlights? We can't listen to that, but that's okay.
Max, don't forget, Max, if you want to watch a football match, let's just put it out there. Go watch play on the pitch in May.
Oh yes,
that is a football match. That's when they do play. That's when you got lads who are mates or don't even know each other from all across the country, across the world to come over and play on the pitch. Don't even know each other, and you play as a team.
Well,
and that's what. And to be fair, somebody like them at Stoke ought to come and watch that and bring some of the players. If they can do that, why can't you do it? You're getting paid for doing it. They're paying themselves for doing it.
Hey, we'll be there again with the cameras. Tiger will be there with the cameras. Everyone will be watching the play on the pitch. Have you got a date for it yet, Tiger? Have you got a date for it yet?
We're hoping. We're just waiting because we've done it at Stoke for the last 2 years, as you know of. This year we're going to do it at the Vale. We're just waiting for Vale to get back to us because I've got some Vale fans there who want to play at Vale. So give them the benefit of that. They're paying for it. So we won't be doing it at Vale Park. We think it's going to be the 31st of May, but we are having it if we can for most of the day. Then there'll be a buffet upstairs after. The bar's open upstairs after. The only thing we won't be doing, I'm sorry, Sam, you're not getting a goal this year. You cost us last year. You cost us last year.
You can't have Sam in goal. No.
You cost us.
Well, you've seen what we'll do.
It was a ref that cost.
No. We're going to fly Alan over from Canada because we've heard, he's basically Brad Friedel. He was playing and then he came and he did a job in the Prem, didn't he? Right, chaps, we're honestly going to have to wrap it up or we're going to run out of time. So honestly, thanks so much everybody for coming on. No doubt, Al, we will get you on again. Tiger, I know you've been. We've had you on before. We will have you on again. Dale and Hoppo, they're part of the furniture. Sam, well, he's part of the furniture store. So honestly, we're all going to be on again at some point. Thanks so much for watching. But we'll try and do this because we've never had this many people to do it. Right, I'm going to start with me, and then it'll go to Sam, and then it'll go to Dale, to Alan, to Tiger, and finish off with Hoppo. So it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me, eh?
And a goodbye from me.
Not too shabby. And we'll see you all again on the next podcast episode of Stoke Fan TV. Go on, Stoke!